As most of you watching this know, every now and then I like to spice up our standard North American Saturn reviews with something special or something different, and today is one of those days. Today we're going to be taking a look at digital pinball Necronomicon, which is actually a Japanese exclusive for the SEGA Saturn that was released back in 1996 and is quite sought after these days. But then again, so are almost all the Japanese exclusive Saturn games. There's not too much to say about digital pinball Necronomicon, except that it's a fantastic pinball game for those that like digital pinball games. And it may surprise those that aren't really into the genre. It features excellent physics, great table layouts, and above all else, one hell of a kick-ass soundtrack. The opening and closing FMV music was composed by John Petrucci from Dream Theater, with the in-game music being handled by Yusuke Takahama of Target Laboratories. I should also mention the fact that the graphics on this game are outputted in high resolution, which was extremely uncommon for a SEGA Saturn release of the time. As such, the game appears extremely sharp on your TV screen, and the video you're seeing here on YouTube doesn't really come close to doing this game justice. The game was developed by Kaze and features 3 distinct tables: Arkham Asylum, Cult of the Bloody Tongue, and Dreamlands. And yes, you heard that right, there's a table here called Arkham Asylum, so you know this game's a winner. There's also a Realms mode, which introduces players to a nice FMV sequence before challenging the player to reach a certain high score in Arkham Asylum, and thereby moving on to the next table, and the next one after that, and then closing out with an ending FMV. So it sort of plays more like a video game. If you don't play the Realms mode, you can just jump into the action and select any one of the 3 tables available. While 3 tables may not seem like much, each has a completely different set of objectives. If you don't know much about pinball, the overall objective isn't just to hit the ball around the table. You're actually supposed to be aiming for specific targets on the table in order to maximize your points. There are areas that will unlock upon being hit once, and if you can manage to get the ball through to a specific spot afterwards, you can achieve some pretty high and incredible bonuses. The appeal of pinball is going after that elusive high score, and Kaze had a really unique feature they built into the game for that very reason. Beside your high score is a password that could actually be used on Kaze's website way back when to see primitive world leaderboards. This was pretty amazing stuff back in the mid to late 90s. While Kaze would go on to make pinball games for a wide assortment of other platforms, they were never able to really recapture what made this game so spectacular. I know for some of you it's odd to hear me say spectacular when I'm talking about a pinball game, but believe me, this is actually a must-buy game. I lost hours to this game back in the day because of how addictive it is. If there's one pinball game you need to get on the Saturn, this is it. It's right up there with Devil's Crush and Alien Crush on the PC Engine. Be warned though, if you'd like to pick up a copy, it does not come cheap today.